I believe you all can see the screen and hear me. So before proceeding further, I just want to show you one thing. We are having many questions from the students like where to check the videos and how to check the class and all. So let me just walk you through this. I believe all of you might have registered here. Have you all registered with your email ID here and got access to your LMS? Have you all got access to this?
Yes, I believe.
So I'll just show you, just check once, go to preetidevons.com and here you have to go to this page from the main page. Here you'll have a student login, right? Just click on this and you'll be asked to log in with your Google or email. Prefer Gmail, right? So log in with this. If you don't have an account, you have to click on sign up. Or else if you already have an account, already a member, you can log in. Let me try signing up. I'm choosing some account. Continue. I'm signing up. Like, let's say this is my first time, so I'm signing up with my account. So now I got logged in here, right? So I have created an account with this. It's so simple as that, creating an account with your Gmail. So now come to my learnings. If you go to my learning, see here under active courses, there were no active courses because I have just created my account. So what you have to do is go to live class login. And in the live class login, you can click on join the course. Once you join the course, so here you will see the first part. Hmm. So here you will be seeing this. Click on this class link to join the class, right? So you will be able to log into that Zoom and you will be able to join to those demo sessions. And another thing is just come here and here you will see the demo video which we had on 19th Sunday. Whoever missed those sessions, you have that recording here. And all the recordings will be posted here. Like up to 3 sessions, it will be available for public for everyone. And from fourth session onwards, it would be made private. So this is the 19th class and this is the 20th, like Monday's class. All the class recordings are available here, and under this GIT, you will be having today's class also added here. Right? That's how you register and join the classes. As simple as that. And once you do all of these things, like it's only one time task. Once you do this, and if you just refresh, let me log in back. Okay, I'm into it. If I go to my learnings, yeah, because I have already like registered is nothing but clicking the link there. So you are registered to that class. Under active courses, you can see that each time you can directly go here and check your recordings and all, right? So just go through that and that's how you can access your class, your recordings. And not only the recordings, here if you see this, because it's a day one, underneath this video, we don't see any lab and all. But from GIT classes, like if you go here, you will see lab exercise here itself, quiz as well, interview questions relevant to that particular class, everything. This is day one hands-on relevant to yesterday's class. Day one quiz, interview questions, basic questions on GIT. So all the courses were available. This is your LMS learning management system, which everyone can have access to. Up to like 3 sessions, everyone can access this one. Am I good and clear? Now you can check from your end and see that you all can access it. As we are having many questions on this, I thought of just walking you through these steps. Can you all see that if anyone have tried it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's about the navigation part and your LMS. Now let's get started. Let's get into our Git. In the yesterday's class, we had an intro of Git, like what is a version control system firstly, who uses it, why a DevOps engineer should learn it, what are the different aspects in learning the Git. And then we have also discussed about the Git architecture and the basic fundamentals we have focused on yesterday so that we have our funda strong, our basics strong. Right, we have discussed about working directory, staging area, local repository, how the changes navigate through these areas. Right, this is the architectural diagram which should be registered by the time we complete our Git. So this is the what we did, and we have created a folder or a directory called git demo, and this is our local repository. This is our working directory because physically it's the same, and we have created some new files, we have modified them. This is what we were doing yesterday. Am I correct? Any questions from the topics covered yesterday? Have you all done the hands-on? It's a very simple part we completed yesterday, as it's the first day of our hands-on. We just gone through the very basics. And expectation is that you all should complete the same, and also you have to go through those lab assignments underneath the video to make yourself comfortable with those basic stuff before we go on with the other assignments and all. Any questions from yesterday's part? Have you all done the hands-on? Or else, how many of you have done the hands-on on yesterday's part? You can feel free to respond so that I can know like how many of you have tried it.
I'm done, Preeti.
You have done that, Prasad?
Yep, I've done it.
Right, great. Good to know. And there were few messages in the chat window. Akshay have done that, Rashmi have done that, and Prince have done that. Good to know. Lot many of you. Hardeep have done that. Good to know. Okay, Praveen have done that. Yeah, that's good to know. That's not bad. And expecting all the 100% of the candidates to go through it. Those are the basics. You might be already working with Git, or else you might be already working with some other version control system. But let's begin, right? We should begin from the basics. So let's do these things so that it will help you like a review or a recap before you progress, right? Okay, like whoever haven't, try this today. It doesn't take much time. And yeah, okay, so we have created these files, and these are the commands we have executed. Of course, there's a new window. So the basic commands like git status, git log, all of these things we have done, correct? Today, let's proceed to another new concept. Uh, to help you with whoever missed yesterday, these are the things. Git day one lab is here with the examples, with the commands, everything here. Right, this is what we did yesterday. But now let's progress to the new topic today. So we were creating the new files and modifying the files. Today, let us proceed and see like checking the diff command, checking what are the stage changes, unstaged changes and all. So these are the files. So I want to edit the file. So how do you edit the file? Either it is Windows or Mac or Linux. Particularly if it is Windows or Mac, you have the GUI as well, right? You have graphical user interface as well, meaning you may just open the Windows Explorer this way. You can just go to that Windows Explorer this way, go to this folder, open the file, double click, modify it, right? You can use any editor like Notepad, Notepad++, or else WordPad, whatever, any editor you can use. Or else if you are comfortable with the command line, you can use Vim editor. If anyone is new to Vim, don't worry. It's an editor for Linux particularly, or else for the from the CLI. We will learn these things separately. But my point is, use any editor of your choice, like Notepad, Notepad++, or a WordPad, or else there are also some better editors which I am going to show you. You all know what is an editor, right? Of course, obviously, I believe. So you may use any editor of your choice to edit those files. like we can use something called VS Code Editor. Okay, go to this VS Code Editor and you can download this for Mac or for Windows, for Linux. It works for multiple operating system. If you just go here, it supports. Again, see, don't get confused with this. I'm not teaching you another technology or another software. It's just an editor like you have your Notepad, Notepad++. This editor will help you work with your Git repositories or any sort of files, Python, Perl, if you are a developer or a tester or a DevOps engineer. It helps us to manage our files easily, like Terraform files, Kubernetes manifest files. All of them can be managed effectively with these editors, and these are all like used in real time as well. So you'll get exposure to this. That's why let's use a better editor, a professional editor for DevOps engineers or any IT person. So you may download it according to your operating system, if it is Mac or a Windows or Linux, and just download and launch it. That's all. It's as simple as that, right? Using the VS Code editor. You don't have to install it separately. Download and double click to open the application. That's all. So once you have it, it would look like this. I just want to use a better editor. So that's the reason of going through this. It has nothing to do with your Git. Am I clear? So for the first time of launching it, you will see like this. Open the folder wherever you have your Git, right? You can browse and open that folder. So I'm going to open on desktop. I have this Git demo, right? You can see here. The advantage is to run the commands, you don't need to open another window like Git bash or terminal. You can go here. Sorry, you can go here and open this terminal here, right? That's how you can launch. Now, yeah, this is nothing but your terminal on Mac or a Git bash. Also here you can choose if you want to launch bash window, whatever, right? So simple. Now you can run any Git commands like you are running on a separate terminal window. Are we good with this editor? Any questions or confusions? It is just an editor. It's not a topic specific to Git or something else. It's a general tool which can help you to modify or edit your files. Right. So now let's say I just want to edit some files. I just want to edit the file. Or else let me do one thing. As a recap, I would create a new file. It's so simple creating and editing the files. File3.txt. Okay, text file, and I am adding a line called hello. Can you tell me now where is this file? Where is this file? I mean, in this architecture, as per this architecture, where was this file when I created a file? Is it in a working directory, staging area, or local repository?
Working directory.
Also here you can see Git status. So it tells you untracked because it's a new file. And here this is another advantage of using this editor. If you keep the cursor, it tells you means untracked. That's another advantage of this editor. Here itself you can see where is this file. Okay, fine. Now what we have to do? Git add file3, correct? Add this file. Now where is this file? See, keep your cursor here. It tells you it's added, right? Like it's in the staging area. If you see here, changes to be committed. They are not committed. To be committed means where are those changes?
They
Yes,
mean staged. Yeah.
they were staged. They were in the staging area, right? So what you have to do here, I'm committing the changes. Git commit -m, let's say third file added is the comment I'm giving. These commands we have seen yesterday. So yeah. So we have committed and the repository is clean. If you check now, it should be clean. Perfect. As expected. Now, this is a recap of what we did. Yesterday, we created some files and we have made some changes, moved it to staging area and then to local repository. Now, I'm modifying this file. Let's say I have added some lines. See, I'm not focusing on the content here. I'm just using simple text files and some dummy lines. So the point is how you manage these files. Once we start our DevOps tools, we'll apply the same Git to our real files. So file or the content is not the focus here. Okay, now I have modified it. Where is the modification or the change? Obviously not staged. Not staged means these changes are in the working directory.
Working directory. Yeah.
Working directory, right? Now tell me one thing. Is this file 3 having unstaged changes or not?
Yes, it does have.
Everyone? What about others? Is it having unstaged changes or not? And what is meant by unstaged changes? We discussed this yesterday about the unstaged changes.
File is already available. Yeah.
File is there, it's not a new file, but we made some
Some
modifications.
changes. Yeah.
So that's a unstaged. So it's having some unstaged changes. So if you want to see, let's say, okay, I just want to see if this file is having unstaged changes or not. You can do git diff file name, right? It will show you some changes like this. It means that it has got unstaged changes. Okay, fine. Okay, let us stage them. How do we stage them? Means how do we move to staging area?
Get it. Yeah.
Right? Done. Good. Now is this file having unstaged changes? Sorry. Is this file
No.
having? See, when I do git diff, because it doesn't have unstaged changes, it's not showing here. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do one thing. I'm adding again one more line. It's having unstaged change, obviously, right? So git diff. Okay, I have some unstaged change. And if I add it again, obviously unstaged changes wouldn't be there. So what I want to do is, okay, let me add it. Obviously, no unstaged changes. Now what I want to do is, I just want to add another thing, another line. Okay. Now again, does it have unstaged change or not?
Yes.
Obviously, it has got unstaged change. Does it have staged changes or not?
Yeah, it does have some
It
previous.
does have staged changes as well,
Those
right?
are staged. Those are committed. So those
Yeah,
are not
those are
staged.
not committed. Some lines are not committed. So if you see here, it was showing you these 3 lines. These 3 lines were there in the staging area, staged changes, right? And here you can see these changes are unstaged. So it's showing, it means this particular file, it's a simple logic, right? You might have added few lines, added it to staging area. Later on, you added some other lines. They were not staged. So this file is having some changes staged, some changes unstaged. Unstaged changes means which are in the working directory can be seen this way, and the staged changes can be seen this way. At this point of time, if you do git status, same file will be shown under changes to be committed means what is this area?
These are staged changes that
Staging
we need to
area.
commit.
These are in the staging area, right?
Correct.
Same file is also shown under unstaged. Means where are these changes not staged? Means where are these changes?
Working directory.
Working directory means the same file is shown under staging area and the working directory. So you shouldn't get confused. These could be the scenarios. Like some of them are staged and later on some other changes were added which are unstaged. Simple logic. You shouldn't get confused. This could be an interesting, a tricky interview question as well. Like what, like can you see the same file both under staging and in the working directory? Right? If they want to test you the uh, in-depth concepts, whether you are clear with the concepts or not, and that could be a tricky question, right? So yes, the same file could be under both. So what you should do, you should add and commit. You may add and commit separately, or else because it's not a new file, add and commit with AM flag. We discussed this yesterday, right?
Yes.
Third file modifications. Right? It should be clean. Perfect. Right? So that's a simple diff commands. Git diff file name and git diff staged flag will show you staged and unstaged changes. That's a simple scenario. Are we clear with this? Good to go.
Yes.
All right. So till now, yeah, we created the files, we modified the files, we have seen like staged, unstaged changes. Let's talk about another interesting aspect of deleting the files, right? So let's suppose now I want to delete this file. When I show ls will list all the files in that folder, or else you may see in this explorer also on the left hand side, you have 3 files. Now let's say I want this third file to be deleted. So git rm file 3. Okay, you can see on the left hand side, this file is gone, right? So now if you do status, file is gone. Yesterday, like I told you, I will repeat again. Git works with respect to changes. Some change or modification, whatever you call it. Whether it is change, what is meant by change from Git's perspective? Right? Change means it could be creating a new file or deleting a file or modification. Anything is considered as a change. Right? First, that particular change will go into the working directory, then staging area and local. Same is the case here also. So when you do git rm, changes are like it is deleted from working directory and staging area. Sorry, working directory. It is still there in the change is there, means the deletion is there in the staging area. So you have to commit that. Deleted the file. Done. That file is no more. When you do ls, status would be clean here. Right? So that's one of the ways to delete any particular file. And we made a commit, right? Whenever you make a commit, git log one line, you will see the commit history. Right? Like these are the ones. Even the deleted file, the commit is stored. The use of these commits and all we will see. But yes, we did a commit and all the commits are registered and you can see the commit history in this log command. So that's how you delete it. Let me show you another interesting part. Let's say now I want to delete this file too as well, but I want to delete this file too only from the local repository, but not from the working directory. What does it mean? Meaning I just want to delete it only from local repository. I still want to keep it in this folder. So to do that, git rm cached. Cached is the flag, filed. So what this command will do, it will delete it from the local repository, but it will keep it in the working directory. Let us see. See, you still have the file. But if you do git ls files, git log, these are the commands we discussed yesterday. But I'm repeating it. Git ls files will list the files in the staging area and in the working directory. Right? So if you do this git ls files, you just see file 1. There is no file 2, but file 2 is still there in the working directory. Right? And also you can see the status. Changes to be committed. Like I said, that particular deletion, that particular change is in the staging area. So what you have to do, git commit -m deleted from local repository only. Okay, done. Perfect. So ls will still show the file is still there in the working directory, but it is no more in the staging area or local repository. Am I clear? Any confusions for anyone? Is this much clear?
Yeah, so far good.
Appreciate your responses, your understanding, any other questions, so that we can have interesting and more interactive sessions. Feel free to respond, or you can use the chat window if you can't unmute. Okay, thank you, Subhati, Praveen, and everyone for confirming over the chat. Okay, so yeah, this is the how you delete it. Okay, fine. It's all good. Let me check the status. But why I'm getting this status untracked file 2? And when do you see this kind of message? And why are we seeing this message now? Anything from your end? We
Because this
discussed.
file 2 is in the working directory and it's not added yet, and it's just showing you that.
It's like a new file, right? Like yesterday when you created new file for the first time, it would show like untracked. The same is the case here because we removed it from staging and local repository using that git rm cache. It just works like a new file. When you have a new file, because this git demo is local repository or because this git demo is a working directory, whatever you call it, and see whichever folder had this dot git is called a local repository, it means that it will be tracking any files present, any files or any folders present in this particular directory. Right. So it's showing that in the list here. Right, that's the reason it was showing it. Okay, now let us look into another scenario, like another concept in continuation with it. Let's suppose, okay, I have file 2 in this folder. I want to keep that file. Let's assume this file 2 is a log file, right? The use cases are, um, okay, let's say it could be a log file or else an exe generated from your code if you are a developer, if it is a developer repository, right? Or it's a log file if it's your DevOps or whoever it is, or else it's just a report, or else let's say it's a documentation which I have prepared for the project, or else it's my personal notes kind of, right? I want to keep it in the same folder because it's a relevant to the project. At the same time, I don't want Git to track it, isn't it? It could be my notes, it could be some documentation, it could be some report. We don't need to version control it. I don't want to Git to track it, but I still want to keep it in the folder. Means, yeah, there are scenarios, use cases as such, same use cases, like it could be a notes or a log file or exe or a report, right? And from DevOps perspective, we will learn this concept and we'll apply it when we are using Terraform and Ansible for real files. Like in Terraform, you will have something called state file, or in Ansible, you have something called vault to store the passwords and all. Such files where you have sensitive data should not be version controlled, should not be tracked by Git. So it could be a log file or exe or a report from DevOps perspective. We need them during our Terraform Ansible projects because state files will have sensitive data of the infrastructure which shouldn't be version controlled. Means the whole point is I will have some files in the same directory, in the same local repository folder, but I don't want Git to track them. I don't want Git to version control them. How is that possible? Is that possible? Because there's a local repository, it has .git. Git will be tracking everything present in here. That's why it's showing it's like untracked. But for these various reasons, for these obvious reasons, I just don't want Git to track it. How can we tell Git not to track some files? That's where comes another concept called git ignore. So what do you do here? Just go to your repository and create a file called .git ignore. Right? What is this .git ignore? It's a git object. Okay, create a file .git ignore and put the file names whichever you don't want Git to version control and save it. See, as soon as you save it, this is grayed out. Do you see that? Right? Also, let's say I have 10 log files, means 10 files with extension log. You may use some wild characters for this, right? And ignore all the files. Star means all, any. You can use such wild characters, star.log. Any files with extension .log will be ignored. So you can use some wild characters and ignore a bunch of files or a big number of files which you don't want, right? So as soon as you add it, this is disabled or grayed out, means Git will no more bother about it. If you run git status now, it will no more bother about file2. Earlier we have seen it's showing like untracked, but it's no more bothered about file2, but instead .git ignore, because .git ignore is after all another file like file1, right? So what you have to do, it's in the working directory. Git add .git ignore. It's after all another file, a hidden file, add it. So you can see the cursor. I mean, if you keep the cursor here, you will see it as index added, means it's in the staging area. So commit this. Ignore file added or created. Ignore file created is the commit message. Done. Perfect. So even though you have here file2, Git will not bother about this. This is the git ignore concept. Very important concept in the real world. And the use case I have related here, right? Like in Terraform, Ansible, you have the sensitive files which you don't want version control. We'll see this concept again when we start our Terraform Ansible, right? We'll create git ignore and ignore those state files. And that's the real implementation of it. Understood this git ignore, everyone? Any questions from anyone?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Sachin.
Yeah, hi, Priti. Actually, I wanted to ask. Actually, I'm not from the technical background. So, this particular software that you are teaching about Git, so the developers use that. I just want to confirm.
Okay, have you joined the class yesterday, Sachin?
Yesterday I missed it, but I checked the recordings and all.
Okay.
So,
Like we discussed yesterday in the class, like this
yeah.
version control system, everyone will use it. Of course,
Okay.
developers will use it mandatory to version control their program files. As a
Okay.
DevOps person, you do have the configuration files, right? Like Terraform configuration files, Kubernetes manifest files, all of those files will be there. So how do you version control? How do you track them as a team of DevOps? Right? A team of DevOps could be 5 or 6, whatever is the number, depending on so many
Yeah.
factors. All of them have to manage those files, right? That's where
Okay.
version control system will be used this way.
So
And
basically, they write the that's the project. This file two is the project at the top, and the DevOps engineer they write. They use this terminal at the bottom and like
yes,
add or commit these files, right?
yes, it will be like a Terraform main.tf, the main Terraform configuration file. So these files will be there. Here I'm using dummy files. Once we start these tools, we'll go with them.
Okay.
Right? So, and another, this is one of the aspects of how DevOps engineer uses Git, like to version control your own files. Another aspect is there. Once developer is ready with their code and once they are ready with their Git repository, how to pull it from their repository and create the CI/CD pipeline with automation. That's another aspect how DevOps engineer uses it. We will learn that aspect as well. We will learn Git thoroughly 360 degrees so that you are ready to use Git in your projects and crack the interview questions on Git. That would be the agenda by the time we complete Git. Of course, after like once we learn it, we'll also integrate it in the pipeline, and that's how we progress.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Any other questions? Okay. So we have ignored this one, right? Okay, fine. Now let's see the commit history with the git log one line. By now we have done a bunch of commits, right? So, and this commit message, I told you it's like a comment so that you understand what this commit is all about. Now let's talk about, okay, we are seeing a bunch of commits, and now let's talk about what if you want to undo a particular commit. What is meant by undo? I mean, what is meant by dictionary meaning? I'm just asking dictionary meaning of undo. What is meant by undo? Let's say you created a file. When you undo, what happens? Correct? Or else you deleted a file. What if you undo? Am I correct? So the meaning of undo is like reversing the things, right? Whatever you have done will be reversed, right? So we have a similar concept in Git called revert. How do you undo or revert a particular commit? Meaning, let's say you take any particular commit. If you revert it, whatever happened in that particular commit will be undo. If a file is created there, it will be deleted. If a file is deleted in this particular commit, if you remember, whenever you delete also, we have a commit, right? Like this. So the file will be back. So you have a concept called revert to undo your commits. And how do you do that? Simply git revert the commit ID, whichever you want to undo. I am undoing this one. This commit ignore file is created. When you undo, what happens? What happens when you undo?
Maybe it got deleted.
Ignore file will be gone, right? So let us look into this. And the most important thing is here you have to notice is, let's suppose you are reverting this commit. Whenever you run the revert command, like whenever you run commit command or revert command, a new commit ID will be generated. Like let's say B, I can't write the whole alphanumeric like O, F, D, 0, B, 3, C and all. I'm writing it as A. Let's say there's a commit called A. You have reverted it, commit B is generated. Let's suppose in this commit a file is created. In this commit B, file will be deleted. Agree with this, everyone? Simple. And again, let's say I want to undo, means I want to undo this B. Yes, you can do that. Commit B can be undo, another new commit will be generated, but here again file will be back. Means this C will be same as A. Agree with this?
Got it. Yeah.
Right? So that's how you can undo. This is a safe method of undoing the things, because you might be having multiple team of people working, right? Let's say you made some configurations to EC2 in your Terraform file. Some other person might be making some change. Let's say you want to undo, again undo. You may have to undo multiple times to get back. Yes, that's quite possible. That's how you manage your files. It could be a DevOps engineer or a tester, whoever it is, for their relevant files. This is simple file management, right? So now let me run this command and see what happens. See, it opened an editor. This is an editor in the command line, a Linux editor, a VI editor. It will ask you for commit message. Like whenever you are committing, you are passing a message, right? Same is the case here. And how do you edit this? First, go to insert mode. At the bottom, you should see insert means escape I. Escape I means you will get into insert mode. Now you can type anything here. Like you want to give the message as revert ignore file. Okay, edit the message like you want it. Now you have to save this. How do you save it? Go to escape. When you click escape at the bottom, insert mode will be gone. Now I did escape, insert mode is gone. Colon WQ exclamatory. That will save the file. See, that's how you use a editor, a Vim editor. If anyone new to this Vim editor, you don't have to confuse. You have everything here. Like if you go to Git day 2, you have everything like how do you use editor, everything in the second day class. This is day 1, day 2. You will have everything here. From the point of creating the files, everything you can check on here, right? The explanations, everything you have. So just the thing is, sorry. So just use this to save this file. So the command is saved and it's all clean. Now let me check. Whenever you revert, a commit message should be created, right? Let's see. Yeah, do you see that new commit message, commit ID, commit message were added into the commit history? Also, on the left hand side, ignore is gone. And if you see git status now, file 2 is tracked again. Understood the logic?
Yeah, since
Interesting,
we
isn't it?
removed The ignored.
Because ignore file is gone, file 2 is tracked again.
Got it.
Here two concepts are covered actually, ignore concept and the revert concept. Are we good?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So because ignore file is gone, file 2 is tracked again. I don't want it. I want my ignore file back. Can I revert the revert again? Revert the revert means let's assume this is A. Correct? Refer this diagram. This is A. This is B. I want again go to this point A. Means revert this one. Correct? Copy this commit ID B. Okay, put this here. So again, new commit ID will be generated like C and your file should be back. Let's do it. Some message of your choice. This is user defined. Go to escape, colon, WQ, exclamatory. That will save this message. Done. Okay. Now if you do ls, you have these, of course, ls minus a will show those hidden files also. And most importantly, git status. Git status is showing you it's not tracking file 2 anymore. Right? Also git ignore is added, so file 2 is not tracked anymore. And also if you see the log, do you see commit C? Refer to this diagram on the right hand side. This is commit A, commit B, commit C with the messages you have given over there. And file 2 is no more tracked. This is the best and the safe way to undo your changes, undo your configurations, whatever it is. If you are a developer, it will be code changes. If it's a DevOps engineer, configuration changes. This is how you save it. We'll talk about this master and all, head and all, Rashmi. One by one we'll go through. We'll discuss about the head and then master, right? Any questions in the part I covered? Ignore, revert.
No.
No.
Great that you're all following and the concept is clear.
One thing about git ignore, I have a doubt here.
Yes, please.
So, suppose we're pushing the changes, okay? So, git ignore file will also be pushed, or like, what? Because since the file 2 will not be tracked, it won't be pushed. But git ignore will be pushed, right? Or no?
Yes, ignore will be pushed and ignore should be pushed because this file too could be in everyone's repository, right? Like you push to remote, others will pull it, right? Or else they might have created it. Let's say that file too, like in the for Terraform projects, it's a state file. It should not be version controlled for anyone. So ignore file will be there on remote or for everyone. Even though this file is not there, ignore file should be there so that it makes sure it will not track it.
Got it, got it. Yeah, thank
So this is how you do, and if you see the log, yeah, by now we have done some bunch of commits. Let's say I'm a DevOps engineer, I'm working on the Terraform config files. It's been a week, or else let's say it's been a month. And then I realized I don't want these 4 successive commits. I don't want in the sense I want to discard them. I want to discard them from this commit history as well as whatever changes happened during these 4 commits I want to discard. This could be the use case, like let's say you are working on a project from a month, then some requirements got completely changed and you don't want to maintain them in the commit history also because those requirement has completely changed. We don't need those configurations anymore. Is that possible to discard? See, and one more thing is when you see your commit history, this is the topmost or the latest commit, right? And there is something called pointer in Git. Head is one such pointer which will always point to the topmost or the latest commit in the commit history. So this is your head pointing to. Now I just want to discard these 4, or let's say these 5, or let's say these 2 commit IDs. Is it possible? Successive topmost commit IDs want to be discarded. That's where comes something called reset. Right? You can discard successive commit IDs. Discard means they can be removed from the commit history, as well as changes done during those commits will also be gone. So how do you do that? Let's see. One of the ways to do that is git reset hard, and as many number of commits you want to wipe off. I want to wipe off 2. So you will do head tilde 2. Means successive top 2 commits will be discarded. Discarded means yes, they are removed from the commit history, as well as the whatever changes happened there will be gone. I'm running this command. If you see the log, do you see these 2 are gone and this became the topmost one and head is pointing to this. Understood, Reshma? This is the head pointer. It will point to the topmost one. Because these 2 are wiped off, this became the topmost one and head pointer is pointing to this. Right? And those changes are also gone. Changes in the sense like you created an ignore file, reverted, those are gone. So this is one way to do reset. There is another way to do reset. I'm again resetting. Let's say now I want to reset these 2, or else let's say these 3. Okay, one way is head tilde 3, or else another way is if I discard these 3, this will be the topmost commit ID, right? You give the topmost commit ID. This is where your head pointer will be moved to. That's the meaning of reset. You are resetting or changing your head pointer. That's the meaning of it. Right? Kajal, I'll come and talk about hard in a few minutes. Right? That's a command, git reset hard. So whichever you want to be a topmost commit ID, give that. See, head pointer is reset, is a change. That's the meaning of it. Now if you see the, oh sorry, if you see the log, right, you can see this is your commit history. It's wiped off. Wiped off in the sense they are removed from the commit history, as well as if you see on the Windows Explorer on the left hand side, Explorer on the left hand side, you can see File Explorer. This is actually File Explorer on your VS Code Editor. So here also you can see the difference, right? You have the file 3 back because during those commits you have removed it. So understood everyone what reset is doing? If you are clear with this, we can talk about analyzing the differences between reset and revert. This could be again another important interview question. Also, the concept which you should be very clear with. What is reset? Reset is to discard successive commit IDs. This one, any random commit ID can be reverted. Undo. This is also undo, but successive bunch of commits. Also, reset will not create new commit ID, whereas revert will generate a new commit ID. What is the advantage of generating new commit ID? If it generates new commit ID like B, you could again revert that and get C, but this will not generate such ID. So reset is like you cannot revert it back. You cannot get that back. This is like a permanent change. Whereas this one, it's flexible or else a temporary one. You can just get get the changes back again, right? And so reset is very powerful and called as destructive command. Means if you don't know properly and by mistake, if you have wiped off something, let's say these 3, you can't get them back. You have to do all the rework, right? So reset is called as destructive, powerful command. It should be used when you really need it, when you really know the use case, and when you are very sure of discarding it. So on daily basis, which one you will use? Safe undo method is revert. Revert is the one we use it on regular, on day-to-day basis, right? Whereas reset is used very rarely. When you really want to undo a bunch of commits, you go for reset. Very rarely use command. Powerful and called destructive for the same reason, right? This reset is a far advanced concept, like its beginners will not be using it, and it should be used very carefully. And the one we were talking about is a hard reset. There are also different types of reset. Before I go for the different types of reset, is this much clear for everyone? Understood?
Yes, so far so good.
Right? Thank you for confirming. And like I said, this is very powerful one, right? Um, there are also different types of resets. We don't use that to that extent, and this is not needed, other types of resets, but just like reset is also an advanced and confusing part, types of resets would be much more confusing. So I have prepared this chart which help you ease this understanding, so that at any point of time, if you see the resets, it shouldn't be any more confusing or daunting. It should be simple. So let me give you the chart. Like I said, we don't use it so often, but just to have you some idea. Let's say working directory, staging area, local repos. There are different types of resets, like hard reset, soft reset, mixed reset. Right? Hard reset is the one we have. Command is same. Instead of hard, you can put soft or you can put mixed. And what happens whenever you do this hard reset, your changes are wiped off from everywhere. So you cannot get them back, which we have just seen. When you do soft reset, changes are removed from here, but changes are still there in the staging area. So if you want to get the changes back, what you can do? What do you have to do if you want to get the changes back to local repository?
You commit them.
Exactly. You have to commit them so that your changes will be back to local repository in case if it is soft reset, right? And then the mixed reset is changes will be gone from here, your changes will be there. If you want to again get your changes back to local repository, what should we do?
We add them and commit them.
That's all. So this chart should simplify the understanding of different types of resets. Like I'm saying, we don't use this much often, very rare. But if you see these commands across or in the interview, if you just come across, this chart should help you understand it with ease without much struggle from your end. So you don't need a hands-on on it, but this is for your assignment or a homework, whatever you call it for today. Try out these things from your end, right? We did not start the whole concepts of GitHub. We were learning these concepts, we'll apply them. So until then, you can, like every day, you have to do whatever we did in the class, plus this assignment for today. Try out soft reset, mixed reset, post it in the WhatsApp group. We have a private WhatsApp group created for all the registered candidates. If you are moved there already, you can post it there, or else you can post it in the general group. Right? So is the assignment clear for all of you?
Yes.
So try this out and let me know by tomorrow, or else you can post in the group. So this is about reset and the differences with revert and reset. Always prefer using revert. Let me give a recap of what we have done till now from yesterday. Like we have started with the Git architecture, right? Let me just summarize the things. Git architecture, and we have discussed about the working directory, staging area, local repository. Before I start the branching concept, just I'll summarize this. And Here we have seen these are the basic commands, right? Git add, git commit -m, and then git commit. If it is unstaged, we can do -am and the commit message, right? And then we have discussed about git ls files to see the files, I mean the files in the staging and the local repository, and git log to give the complete detail log, or git log one line to give a brief log, right? Git status to see like where is your file, what's happening with your local repository. These are the very basic commands we have discussed in the STS class, right? Today we got started with git diff file name, like file one, and then git diff staged. What this command will do? This will show you the staged changes of the file, whereas git diff file name will show you the unstaged changes of the file, right? And then we discussed about git rm, deleting a file, sorry, git rm. This will delete the file both from working directory and also local repository, right? Then we discussed about git rm cache, this file name. This will delete the file only from local repository, correct? And then we have discussed about dot git ignore. If you want to exclude certain files from version controlling, exclude from version controlling, we can use this dot git ignore, right? And that's what we discussed. And then we discussed about git revert commit ID, right? So you can revert any commit ID, and when you revert, you get a new commit ID generated. You can revert that again. And then git reset. Git reset, let's say you want to discard some bunch of commit IDs, head, tilde, 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it is, or else that particular commit ID, right? So, and also like we have analyzed the differences between reset soft and mixed, right? So these are the things we have learned till now. From revert part, actually from reset, these are all the advanced concepts. And as we are learning about this, next part is about the branching. So before we jump in there, any questions from anyone here in this part? Is this much clear for all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Whoever haven't done hands-on, or for whoever this is the first class, I would suggest you to go through your LMS, the learning management system which we are offering. Go to your LMS, do the complete hands-on. That will give you gain over the grip over the subject. That will help you gain grip over the subject, right? You will.
Kriti, can you once show us like where to go on that portal?
Okay. I have shown you in the beginning. Let me just.
Yeah, I missed it. I was there, but I'm not able to find it
Okay,
now.
let me just quickly show you for the benefit of everyone, as it is the initial classes. Once it is made clear, you can have a smooth ride on this website. So just go to, okay, let me log out again.
I logged in here, but
Okay, you logged in already? Okay. So what you have to do is, if you have logged in already, or else if you haven't, you can click on sign up and create a free account, right? Go to that student login, and if you have logged in, go here for your my learnings. Go to my learnings in that menu. Once you go to the menu, once you go to that my learnings, if you already have done this, you will see this program here. If you haven't done that, go to live class login. Right here, you will be seeing something called view details. You can go here, and here you will see demo class link for live training, like which is live training is the one we were doing, and this is the demo class link. Here you should see that link. You just expand it, you will see. You can click on this. That's how you can join the Zoom sessions for these demo sessions. And once you have done that, you can also just go to the bottom. This is the demo class link, right? And then you have DevOps intro video, which we did on Sunday on January 19th. So that particular recording is available here. You can play here itself. And then we started with Git version control system. Yesterday we class of Git. Even that is available here. And on the demo class, like the day one, we don't have any lab and all because we have an overview there. But in the Git one class onwards, if you just go to the bottom of the video, you have the lab exercises here. Quiz as well, you can launch from here. Interview questions relevant to that particular day. All of them you can see, right? Git day one lab with the commands, everything you have here. Git a day one quiz. Git interview questions relevant to that day one or the basic questions.
Okay.
Right? Like that's how now after this class, today's video will be posted in the same here in yes, Git 2 in the same section. So again, if you go to that video and check the bottom, you will see these 3 sections again relevant to that particular day's hands-on. That's how you can do your hands-on quickly and easily. And also this support will help you connect to your WhatsApp, right? Where you can post your queries. Of course, a separate private WhatsApp is there for registered, like enrolled candidates that will be shared once you enroll. Right? You have everything here itself in this LMS learning management system, which you can use. You can try it out now. It's just very simple. It will take 2 minutes. Just sign up with your Gmail ID. Use Gmail ID. Which link, Abhishek? Do you want me to share this one?
Yes, Pradeep.
Okay, you can just go to our website, preetidevops.com.
Okay.
I'm just showing you, I'll share this link. Just go here, go on this student login at the topmost right corner. And here you can, if you don't have login, create a new one with your Gmail ID, right? And it's just a simple, it will just take 30 seconds of your time.
Okay.
Once
Got it.
here, go to the My Learnings
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
and then live class login. Okay, I'll share this. I have
Thanks.
shared the link. And once you have enrolled, that's only first time you go to My Learnings and then live class login and expand this part here. View details. This expand this one and here is the class link. And here you can see there's only one time task. Later on, you can just log in and see everything with the same Gmail ID. Like first demo sessions, first 3 sessions will be available for public access. Later on, like you will be having other private access for the rest of the videos. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Hope that helps everyone. And coming back, so till now, these are the things we have gone through, right? Yeah. Now then comes the very most important and the real and the actually like useful concept in real time, which is branching. When you see Git status till now, you might be seeing something called on branch master. What is this branch? What is this master? And what are the other branches? Why do we need these branches and all? So that's the concept we have to go through. At this point, I would like to remind you one more thing. This branching feature in Git is very strong, and the branching strategy, particularly Git offers, is so robust that made Git so widely used. That's one of the reasons why Git is widely used. So we'll get started with this branching concept in the next class. Today, complete the hands-on till this part. And I would like to share you the quiz for the day. Yes, you might not be able to access, all of you might not have created your account there. I'm sharing it here itself in the Zoom. So go through this quiz and check your understanding. And I have shared it in the Zoom chat. You can go through it and get the score released and retake it after watching the recording again. And here, 1 or 2 questions might be out of the topic we discussed as well. That's the idea, to help you think and answer it, or explore it and answer it. And anyhow, those will be covered eventually by the time we complete the Git part. And to give more clarity, you can please get started going through the quiz and let me know your scores. Anyway, I'll receive those as well, but you can also share them. Meanwhile, I'll show you one more thing. Like this is the pipeline we were talking in the day one, right? An overview I have given about this pipeline. And to help you understand the agenda, this is where we are. We are covering this Git part. Like when users like developers push the code there, as a DevOps team, we will pull the code and create this pipeline so that any change will trigger the pipeline automatically. So we have to learn Git from that perspective. And during this process, you should also learn how you manage your own files as a DevOps team. So that's where we were. We were learning Git from the first perspective as of now. So we will learn this thoroughly and then integrate it, which may take some, like Git is covered for, I think, 4 to 5 days. It will take like actually 3 to 4 days. So we'll be focusing on Git till then. This is where we are. In the same way, we will zoom into every tool. Like we are learning it. Once we learn it, we come back and implement it in the pipeline. It's not just you learn and go on. We'll implement it in the CI/CD. Likewise, we'll focus on Jenkins from the basics till advanced, come back, add it to the pipeline. Learn Maven, add it to the pipeline. Learn Docker and come back and add it to the pipeline. That's how we zoom into each tool. All right, we master every tool and then integrate this pipeline and create it step by step. That's how we build this pipeline. So we are here in the first stage. Any questions, any concerns, anything you want to discuss? If you still have anything to discuss after the class, this is the number. This is Mr. Raj, counselor for our trainings. He will provide you the best guidance. If you need anyone like a counseling, career counseling and all, you can just call us on this number, reach out to us on this for counseling or for any other queries. And like the VS Code editor links, everything. One more thing is, if you just go here, go to this Google Drive. It's not actually Google Drive, it's our own drive in this LMS, where you can see different hands-on documents here. Like we are covering it, even the same one which you saw in the assignments will be here. Okay. Once you enroll, you will see them actually. So you can just go here and see those documents as well, like in the format of documents. The same hands-on guides you have here. And also additional things will be uploaded here apart from the assignments. So you will get access to this as well. Anyone completed the quiz?
About to finish, like a couple of questions are remaining.
No worries, you can take your time. I can also see the scores here. And another thing here is Git, like I have shown you creating these files, right? You can try out your own scenarios as well. Git is all about managing your files, right? Like how you edit this file, how you save this, and again how you delete it, or how you again modify this file back, right? Those are the scenarios which vary from user to user. So you can try out those things. You might be having something in your mind. Okay, we made this edit and then saved the file. What if I haven't saved the file and later on I want to do git add kind of. So you can try out all those scenarios, right? That's help you learn the things better. You can also post those queries in the group. If you are in the general group, you can post there also until you are moved to the private group. You can post your queries there. So we can help you, we can guide you like how the scenario to be handled. So try out all those things as well. Spend some time for your hands-on, which is very important. That's a dedication and effort we need from you to help you reach out your goals. And if you have some scenarios which you want me to discuss in the class also, you can just mark them and come back to me. The last 10 minutes, 7:20 to 7:30, last 10 minutes, we can have dedication for the questionnaire or discuss anything you have went through during your hands-on. That's help you to understand the scenarios better. And from tomorrow, we'll start sharp by 6 o'clock. Please be on time, everyone. As these are initial days, we were giving some grace time of 10 minutes during the beginning. But make sure we are all joining by 6, mostly by 6:05 because of the technical issues and all for you to join. We'll get started. So let's stick to that time so that we can use utilize the time better.
Sure.
So you can submit the quiz, check your scores, retake them after completing going through the recording. You can retake them again. That's how you can check your understanding, validate yourself. These quizzes will help you to test your knowledge, right? During the interview preparation also, they will help you. Like let's say you have an interview scheduled after 4 days, you can just quickly go through this quiz interview questions, which will help you like recap and revision the things. And like I said on the day one, if you are completed with these quizzes, if you want more, you can ask us. We are ready to put more of them here. We are giving that option to students because we want to hear from students. We want them to finish off the content we have placed it and come back to us for more. We are ready to provide you more quizzes, more assignments, everything there, but we want students to ask because they have to complete and come back for the next part or more hands-on, more what do you say, with the practice kind of things that should come from the student, not that we dump in. We already have provided everything here on top of that, because we have people as such who will come back to us saying that we need more assignments, more quizzes, so that we can provide additional or a double the assignments we provided here. There are students who does lot of who put lot of time on the hands-on, and they have also cleared the interviews and they have multiple offers in the hands as well. Whatever we have provided here is perfect to achieve or to crack the interview work in there. Like if you have more time, if you have more zeal to crack the interviews very quickly, and there could be people who spend some 8 hours, 9 hours as well, right, to switch the career or from career gaps, you can come to us. Like you need more of them, we are ready to provide you. All right, then, that's all from my end for today. If you have any other questions, anything else, you can feel free to ask, or else we can close here for today.
Thank you so much, Preeti.
Thank you.
All right then. Thank you all for joining. Have a good day. See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.